Hello. So today we're going to talk about taking a Google slide and making it into a click and drag activity in Seesaw. So I'm working with Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, and the students will listen to two stories. And what I'm going to want them to do with the Google slide is to create a palm tree based on some information from the story and from their family members, and then creating their name on the tree. So I'm going to go to the Google slide presentation, and this is an example that I have. I have the coconut leaves, the coconuts, the tree trunk, and the letters for the students to click and drag to make their name. So what I want to do is I want to make a copy of just one slide. I don't want all of the slides, so I'm going to go to File, and then I'm going to make a copy of selected slides. So I'm going to make a copy of this slide. I can change the name of it to what I would like it to be, and I'm going to click OK. From there, what's going to happen is now I have just one slide. I'm going to take my tree trunk and drag it into the place that I want. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm creating my background for my Seesaw. So once I've got that there, and I don't want to put anything else on there, I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Download and download it as a JPEG. And when I get to my Seesaw, I'm going to go down to Add Template for student responses. I'm going to upload either from my drive if I'm on a Chromebook, or from the computer if I'm on a desktop. And I'm going to go to my downloads, and I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to select the green check. Now I have my template. Now I want to create the palm leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my Google slide. I'm going to right click on one of the palm leaves. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to go into my drive. I'm going to select New, and then go down to More to where it says Google Drawings. From Google Drawings, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to paste the palm leaf in. I'm going to drag it over to the background, and then I'm going to take the Google Drawing square and make it a little bit smaller. Now what's going to happen when I download this as a JPEG, I'm still going to have these boxes behind it, and so I'm going to want to remove the background. So first I'm going to name it Palm Leaf, and I'm going to go to File, Download, and download it as a JPEG. From there, I want to open up a new tab and go to remove.bg to remove the background. I'm going to click Upload. I'm going to pick my recent download for the palm leaf, and I'm going to open it. Now this is removing the background. It looks like it's still there, but once you put it into Seesaw, it will not be. And now I'm going to download this one. I'm going to click back on my Seesaw tab. I'm going to go to the camera, and I'm going to upload. Once I've done that, I'm going to pick the one that says Palm Leaf Remove BG Preview. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click Open, and there's my palm leaf without the background. I'm going to resize it to be a little bit smaller, and let's say I'm going to want several palm leaves. So I'm going to go to the three dots, and I'm going to duplicate, and I'll do that again. I can have them spread out for the students to choose from. Okay, so now I have the palm leaves, and then I want to make my coconut. So I'm going to go to the three dots on the left-hand side. I'm going to go to Shapes, and I'm going to pick the circle. I'm going to then resize my circle, make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to change the color of the circle to a brown to make my coconuts, and then I'm going to duplicate. In my directions with the students, if they have more members of their family than what I have duplicated, I can give them instructions on duplicating the coconuts themselves. So now to make the letters, one thing that I could do is go back to the Google slide, and I could take each individual letter and I could right click on it, copy it. I can go to my Google Draw for the palm leaves. I could create a new Google Draw. I could right click again, paste the letter in, drag the letter over, and I am going to make it a little larger, and then I'm going to drag the background and make it a little smaller. And then I'd have to save it as a JPEG like we did the palm leaves. Then I would go to remove background, and I would click back so that I could upload an image. I would choose the letter, and then I would download it. This is a process, and it does take some time. But once you do have this made in Seesaw, it will be there forever in your library. If you don't want to do that with the colorful letters, what I recommend doing is going to the text box, or the T to make a text, typing in the letter, and then dragging it by the corner to make it the size you want, if you want bigger letters to see it, and then dragging it from the side and kind of making a little bit squishing in the edges, you could say, dragging it over, and then you can click the 3 dots at the bottom and duplicate it. And when you duplicate it, just pull it to the side, and then you can type the next letter. You can change the colors. You can keep one color, and mention to your students that they can change it if they choose to. So be careful not to grab the side like I did, because then I drug this box and I made it a different size. So what I could do is I could try to resize it to match, or I could delete it and reduplicate it. So you just type in each letter, and then you have the letter tiles, and the students can then manipulate it. But one thing that they cannot move and manipulate is the background. So this is one way to take a Google Slides deck and make it into a click and drag. There are some steps to it. And if you wanted to do more than one activity on the same palm tree, you could click on Add a Page. You can click on the side here where it shows you your first slide you have, and click the 3 little dots, and you can duplicate this page. And so now that the page is duplicated, that is totally up to you. But once you have this, like I said, it will always be there in your Seesaw account. I hope this helps.